teaching my classes, I really like using PowerPoint or the idea of slides. I was never really that aware of Google Slides before, so I never really gave it a try. The times that I did look at it, I thought it seemed pretty basic, and I didn't think it would really fit the needs that I needed it to until I actually tried it in this class. So I went ahead and just created an untitled presentation, and I'm going to go ahead and just change the slide here, and I'm just going to say I'm solving polynomials. One of the reasons I didn't really think this would work in my class is because I'm a math teacher, and so a lot of times I need to be able to type an equation, and I didn't know that I could do that with Google Slides. So with Microsoft, I know I could use the equation editor. Another thing is that I do like to use the charts, like flow charts, and I didn't see where I could do that before either. And so then I realized that we have add-ons. So add-ons, you actually have a lot of things that you could add to your documents or your slides. And so I kind of just downloaded a couple that would be ones that I would need to use in my class. So the first, I use Lucidcharts when I make diagrams, but I usually just would go to the website. I didn't know you could embed it actually in the Google Slide, which is pretty cool. So you could change it somewhere else, and then it will just update as well. So I already had downloaded that add-on, and my internet's really slow, so you'll have to give me a minute. And I actually started one right now that I'm actually kind of using right now in my class. We're talking about solving polynomials. Actually, we started that on Friday, and we're doing it again Monday. And I'm not done with that, so I'm going to go ahead and hit edit. And what I like to do is I like to kind of have a flow chart, and we fill in more of it during the lesson, but kind of give the structure. So I kind of started here first with when we're solving polynomials, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to factor out a greatest common factor. And then after that, we look at the number of terms. And so I kind of made that already. And it's actually really easy. You can just take whatever shape that you want and then just pull it where you want it to go. And so I'm just going to pull those over there. And then I want, to have the flowchart feel, so I'm going to go ahead and just draw the arrows, and I'm just going to do that connecting the little circles there. And then I'm going to make one more. Same thing. And then you can change the words here by just double clicking on it. And then I would have more after this. So like again, if I want to use a different shape at this point, then go and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do after this one. For my binomials, I'm looking for a couple of other things. So again, I can kind of just keep going from that. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm done with that right now, and I'm going to go back to my slide, and I want to actually insert that. So I just go ahead and click insert. And yeah, if I needed to edit it, which I would spend a little bit more time on it, or put some blank boxes in there after for when I actually teach this. But you can see you have that. Now I'm going to go ahead and just change the background on that just so it looks better. Just make it all white. This a little bit bigger. So, having it being white with that too, and I can change the color to that better, but I could add more on there as I do that. So that's one thing. I do like that I can still do my flow charts or just my different organizational charts as I'm teaching. The other thing, again, being the equations. So I like to have my examples there ready to solve, and then I like to have the space so that I can actually solve them. So when I go to, this, if I want to do an exponent, I'm going to run into triples. So I can now just go ahead and go here and then go to my add-ons again and then do the math equations. You do need to be a little bit familiar with how you would type equations, so there might be a learning curve to that, but if you have done this before, you're a math teacher, you're probably familiar. So if I'm going to do 24x to the 5th power, I'm going to use that symbol right there above the 6 to get my exponent, and then I'm going to do plus, and then I'll say 3x, and I'm going to do my exponent here, like that. And so I can see what it looks like right here, and then I am going to have this on a black slide right now, so I'm going to go ahead and just use a different color. I'll just use blue, and then I'll just do add to slide. Oh, I must not have picked my blue, but I can go ahead and I can change that again with my colors here. I must not, oh, I was off the screen. Okay, well, I really can't change it. I'll change that later. But you can see that, I mean, it's a good size, and I can, you know, kind of make that smaller as well as I need. So I found that, again, Google Slides actually can do some of the things that I thought that I would be missing if I went to that instead of Microsoft. And it's something that I do like this as well, is I do like that this is tied to my Google account, so that if I am home or if I'm at school, I can still access it.